Hi, this is Chuck with Nerd3D. In this tutorial, we're going to cover setting up a hybrid material. That is a material that will work with both SuperFly and FireFly render engines. They're going to have separate root nodes. And in order to set this up, the first thing we need to look at is at the top of each root node, there's two check marks. One FireFly and one for SuperFly. Whichever one of these is checked, that's the root node that's going to be used when that render engine is selected. I'm going to set up a demonstration so you can see how this works. I'm going to add a new root node here, the poser physical surface, because it is the easiest one to work with, and I'm going to put the check mark on for SuperFly. And what that means is when the SuperFly render engine is selected, it's going to use this root node instead of the poser surface root node, which you'll notice when I checked this on here, it automatically unchecked it from here. You can only use one root node at a time per render engine. To make this really obvious, I'm just going to make this bright green so you can really see the difference. Now you probably noticed that when I changed this, the preview didn't change. And that's because I've got my render engine set to FireFly. If I switch this to SuperFly and switch back to the preview mode, now you can see that the body of our little race car here has turned green. And this is a really good example as to how this really works. If I have the SuperFly render engine selected, it is going to use the node that has the check mark for SuperFly on it. If I select the FireFly render engine, it's going to use the one that has FireFly checked on it. One of the cool things about this is that you can use nodes that are attached to one root on the other root. And to demonstrate how this works, I'm going to pick one of the other materials that's involved in this. And this is the underbody material. And as you can see, it has a physical root, which is already set up to be for our SuperFly, but there's a texture map. This is the actual details texture for that part of the little race car. And as you can see, it's connected to both the FireFly root and the SuperFly root. And this one node will be used for both renders. Now let's take a little closer look at setting up the material for the body of the car. And we're going to go a little bit into the details of setting up some of these nodes, because while the physical surface looks like it's simpler than the poser surface node, it actually is far more capable because it's designed to work with the SuperFly or Cycles render engine. And all of this stuff here, these extra nodes that are connected to the poser surface node, are necessary to make the poser surface node create reflections. Since this is supposed to be a car paint, it should be shiny and reflective. So let's go ahead while we're here and make the physical surface so that it's shiny and reflective, just like the FireFly node is. First, we'll make it the same color. And in order to make it shiny, all we have to do is turn the roughness down to a very low value. That is going to make this be a shiny material. And since this is car paint and usually has a little bit of metal flake in it, we'll add a little bit of metallic to this, maybe 0.5. And literally, that is all you have to do. You don't have to plug in any extra nodes. Just these couple of settings, and you've got a shiny, glossy material that's going to be reflective in the render. Let's take a look at this on a SuperFly render. And as you can see, with the SuperFly render, I get the reflections without having to add extra nodes. If you save this to the material library, when you load it, both of the materials will automatically load. It will save and load to the library as a hybrid material. This should get you started using hybrid materials with Poser. Thanks for watching and have fun using Poser.